Good morning, everybody. We are going to be going over our vocab list for this week. It is log, meaning word, idea, reason, or speech. So a lot of these you've seen many times before, and we're going to see how the root log goes along with the word as well as the definition. Let's go ahead and get started. Your first word is analogy. Analogy is a noun, so we know that's a thing. Analogies are words that draw comparisons and similarities. Oftentimes, you see analogies probably on some type of bell ringer or like what were they called? DOL, like daily oral language. At least that's what they called it when I was younger. And they would be similar to, or they would have the comparisons and similarities based off of certain criteria. So I could say, and this is a very simple one, summer is to hot as winter is to cold. Right, exactly. You could say apple is to tree as grape is to vine. So we know apples grow on trees, grapes grow on vines. And so we would continue with that. So we would figure out what the pattern is in an analogy to draw a conclusion for the comparison that is being related to. Apology is a noun. An apology is words expressing regret. Apology is also words asking to be excused for an action. We often apologize for things that we regret, or we often apologize for things that we did not mean to do. We may intentionally do something, so we know that we're regretting what we did, or just accidentally maybe bumping into someone or knocking something off of a table. I do that all the time. Then you would be, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, right? Moving on. Dialogue is a noun. We already know what dialogue means. It's a conversation between two or more people. Words shared between people. We have created dialogue in many different types of reading and in our writing, so we don't need to go to too much detail for that. Epilogue is a noun. An epilogue is a short section added to the end of a book. It's also a short poem or speech directly to the audience at the end of a play. Epilogues, sometimes they are at the end of books that you have read, but epilogues are more common to happen during a play at the end of a play, and it's directly to the audience. It's usually kind of to wrap up what happened in the play, sometimes even almost like a teaching the audience, like giving the audience like a last lesson before the actual end of the play. So epilogue. Eulogy is a noun. Eulogies are often spoken at people's funerals. So it's kind words spoken about a person who has passed away. You also give high praise. During a funeral, you don't want to go up there and tell everybody what the person who had passed away, all the bad things that they've done, right? No, you give them high praise and you tell them how wonderful they were when they were on this earth. A logbook is a noun. Logbooks are official records. It's a book in which information is written in a timely manner. Logbooks are often associated with people who go to work and they write down the time that they have logged in, if you will. So they may log that they were at work from 8 and then they log out at around maybe 5 or 6. Teachers do have a logbook. If we were to go on campus after hours, we would have to write in a logbook to say, okay, I was here from this time to this time. Logical is an adjective. It's a statement, thought, or action that is reasonable. Words that make sense. So we know that things that are logical, they do make sense. They are not illogical. They are not hard or confusing to understand. Logical things just make sense. Moving on. Logo. Logo is a noun. It's a word, name, symbol, or trademark designed for easy recognition. We could point out hundreds, probably maybe thousands different types of logos without seeing the word or the name, just by the symbol or trademark. We know what the McDonald's logo looks like. We know what the Nike logo looks like. We know what the Apple symbol looks like. All of these are logos in order to basically have a brand, if you will, on a product or any type of, again, trademark. Monologue is a noun, and we know mono means one. So it's a long speech made by one person. And it's also a continuous series of jokes delivered by a comedian. So monologues go either way. A long speech may be like Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech is a monologue. But if you love watching, and these are some of my favorite people, I love watching Jimmy Kimmel or the Jimmy Fallon show. They open up with a monologue, and again, that is when they're continuously making jokes, and they are both comedians also. And prologue. Prologue is a noun. It's an introduction, an introductory chapter at the beginning of a book or play. So the prologue is the before, and it usually does have kind of a brief introduction about like what the book's going to be about. Sometimes it gives you, introduces you to certain things that have happened. So that way you know what's kind of happening in the story when you start to read the book. And that's it for today. So that is our word list for log. So for your vocabulary challenge this week, you are going to take half of these words. It could be the first 5. It could be the second 5. It could be a random 5. 5 words from this list. And I want you to create a rap song. Yes, a rap song. Now you can do this in many ways. If you just want to type out the lyrics, that's fine. If you want to record yourself using the music, you can do that as well. Or you can even just record, if you don't have to record yourself doing the video, you can just record just your voice. So that is your challenge. Rap song. At least 5 of the words need to be in your rap song. Doesn't have to be long either. Okay? Good luck, everyone. I can't wait to hear your music.